We're back. We are back doing a 30-minute latest updates, and we've got loads to talk about today. We've got Mattel, we've got Ninja Turtles, we've got Hasbro, we've got Marvel Legends. So there's quite a bit to get through. So I'm going to try my best to squeeze it all into 30 minutes. Obviously, last night we had the Marvel Legends reveal panel where they revealed a whole bunch of Secret Wars carded figures, as well as a few 2-packs and a few what they called deluxe figures as well. So I'm all over the place at the moment. There's cameras everywhere, so I'm trying to let's have a look. So first bit of news is Mattel and Ninja Turtles. So basically Paramount Pictures and Mattel have announced that they've got a multi-year global licensing partnership for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this deal basically gives Mattel the rights to develop and market new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, toys, collectibles, everything like that, with the first bunch of products intended to be going out in 2027. So they're looking at upcoming movies, upcoming media releases, etc., etc. It's not 100% clear if this is backwards facing, so whether they can do stuff regarding the classics lines and the old 80s stuff and that, but one way or another, Mattel taking over from Playmates with the new TMNT license is a big deal. Hasbro was the next one. With Hasbro, we obviously saw the Marvel Legends team, Dan and Dwight, come out and reveal a whole bunch of new figures, which are going up for pre-order today. So if you're interested in getting those, they are up for pre-order today, including characters from Secret Wars. So we had a whole bunch of new carded Secret War figures revealed, as well as some 2-packs and some deluxe figures. So if you're watching, let's see if I can get some of the stuff up. Here we go. So there we go. There's four. Depending where you're watching, you can see some of the reveals there on screen. They were pretty cool, to be fair. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of these kind of shield badges that came with the Secret War figures. I don't know if it quite fits into the line nowadays, but one way or another, it's there. They're there. So let's go through those in a sec. We also got a new Maximum figure revealed. We got the Thor Maximum figure revealed, as well as the Onslaught Deluxe, as well as the Archangel Deluxe as well. We'll get to those in a minute. Let's talk about Onslaught first. So Onslaught was a builder figure that they released back in 2016, something like that. It was quite a while ago. Dwight said on the live stream, he said, you know, this, if you've got that one, that's great. This is more for people that haven't got that. And if you weren't able to get that into your collection, then here it is. When you actually compare the two side by side, they're very, very similar. They're exactly the same mold. There's a slight paint variation in regards to kind of detailing and stuff, but the mold is exactly the same. Now, when this originally came out as a builder figure, you could only get this particular head packaged in with another figure. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other figure was, but it was packaged in with another figure. And yeah, to put this version of the figure together, you had to obviously buy the figure that came with the head. I think it was Professor. No, it wasn't Professor X. I can't remember now. Cannot remember now. But they're obviously releasing this as a, you know, as a deluxe figure, which is cool. I mean, it was a good builder figure at the time. I'm happy for those that kind of haven't got that in their collection. This is a cool reveal. Let's go on to Secret Wars. So the Secret War figures were the kind of the main staple of the live. First of all, we got Falcon. So this version of Falcon is the one that they did in the 3 3/4 inch line. It's cool. I mean, it's a nice figure. It's, you know, there's nothing to really complain about. It's a nice figure. If you're a fan of Falcon, then this is obviously a good one. You know, it's quite coffee time for me. Yeah, I'm I'm not mad about this one. This is cool. Good for the line. Goes in nicely with the Secret Wars line. Not a huge amount to complain about. I mean, it's not one that I'll be picking up. The next one that they revealed was Constrictor. Again, they haven't done this for a long time. Member of the Serpent Society, so maybe this is a hint that they're kind of looking at working on more of those Serpent Society characters. We've had a handful throughout the years. Now, bearing in mind that Marvel Legends has been going since like 2002, we have had a couple of the Serpent Society figures released throughout the years. This could be a nice sign that they're kind of going back and they're they're going to be looking back at it. Jamie Collect said, I'm definitely getting Falcon to put with my Captain America. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a good Falcon. So if you haven't got it, then yeah, 100% pick it up. The cool thing about this Constrictor figure is the kind of whips, if you like. They've done them in like a two-tone, so they start off kind of metallic looking, and then they go through to a like a translucent yellowy color it looks. The next one was Absorbing Man. Now this is Vigilante Films. Hey, how you doing? This particular Absorbing Man was not a surprise as such, but they did him as a bigger builder figure, and a lot of the time when they release like a new version of the figure, it's kind of more superior to the original version, whereas the internet's kind of divided on this particular one. I mean, the head is a really nice head sculpt. The paintwork and everything is very similar to what we had on the builder figure, but I don't know, it doesn't quite hit the mark for me. I personally think the builder figure is still a bit more superior, but again, for anyone that hasn't had that builder figure, that came out in something, I don't know, 2000 and I can't remember off the top of my head, 2018 maybe. And if you've not got that builder figure, it's quite a cool character to have. So to be able to pick this up in one go as a single carded figure, happy days, very happy for people. The next one was one of my favorites. Vigilante Films says, an absorbing man that doesn't absorb. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, the good thing about the builder figure was that it did come with kind of different arms and stuff that made it look very much like he was absorbing stuff. So yeah, I mean, very good point. It's a shame that they didn't like kind of throw in an extra arm or something like that, or some interchangeable pieces. Magic, this was a really cool one, I thought. This is in her New Mutants costume. Now, we have had Magic before, but it was in the different costume. We haven't had her in this one. A lot of people customized a New Mutants version based on some of the New Mutant figures that we had, myself included, because this is kind of an iconic look for Magic. I think it's a really nice figure. I can't really complain. There's, it does what it says on the tin. It's Magic in her New Mutants costume. So happy days. That's very good. They did kind of tease that they were going to be doing some more New Mutants down the line. So, starting off strong with Magic is a good sign. It'll be interesting to know whether they do them all on these kind of retro card backs, or whether they kind of go down the line and do them slightly differently. The next one was by far my favorite in the wave, and that was, of course, this Spider-Man one. It was Spider-Man Secret Wars, obviously, where in the comic books is where he was introduced to the symbiote. And as they said on the stream, they've done both the Spider-Man and the symbiote Spider-Man, but they haven't done like a meshed up one. So this particular one is the highly articulated Spider-Man I think they said it was the Renew Your Vows mold, so with like the articulated toes and everything like that, but half of him is all kind of symbiote ish. I don't know how you say that in the correct way, but the sculpting on the symbiote part of the costume is really cool. It's very textured, it's very layered, and this, to me, as a big Spider-Man fan, this was my favorite reveal of the stream. it's, I don't, the bizarre thing about it is, I suppose it's not really, it's not really a playable figure. It's not something that you would necessarily kind of, kids would play with, but for collectors and for displays, and especially for action figure photography, this one will look really cool. So I really like that, and it does come with a kind of little blob as well, which is really cool. So you can kind of put that on his hand. But as a Spider-Man fan, this was my favorite, and I actually have that Secret Wars comic as well. So I'm looking forward to having this and posing him with the comic and just kind of doing some geeky stuff. But it's one of my favorite comics in my collection. But that's saying for another time. Quick couple of comments here. I wish they revealed Hulk. Yep, Hulk would have been a good one. But we have had a Maximum Hulk recently revealed. So obviously they've gone to a different, something different with the Maximum line. We'll get onto who that was in a minute. Vigilante Film said, I wish that they did a different character other than Spider-Man. We should have got Magneto. A different character would have been cool, but the thing is that Spider-Man and the symbiote is key to that Secret Wars comic book line. It's that iconic cover. It's actually away. I'll get it out for another stream, but it's that iconic cover of the black suit on the front. So I personally think that this was a really good choice. Last one in this particular wave of retro carded Secret Wars figures was another big sort of fan favorite, and that of course was another Daredevil figure. Personally, I think this is possibly the best Daredevil that they've put out there so far. I really like the kind of black detailing on the gloves and the boots, and the big D logo on his chest. Looks like a really nice head sculpt. Daredevil's kind of had a bit of a revival, obviously, after the TV shows and all that kind of stuff. But he's definitely a massive fan favorite now. So they are pumping up loads of Daredevil figures. And I think that's a good thing, because the Daredevil figures do seem to kind of hold a higher price on the aftermarket. So to be able to buy a retail price Daredevil, if you're a Marvel Legends collector, I think can only be a good thing. Can only be a good thing. Moving on then, so staying on the kind of Daredevil theme, they revealed the first of their 2-packs, which I think is an absolutely stunning 2-pack. And it, of course, is Muse and Bullseye. Very R-rated looking with a lot of splatter. They kept saying that it was paint, because obviously they couldn't say what it was. But I think that Muse as a character is horrific anyway, so you have to kind of have that detailing. So I'm glad that they were able to put all that splatter on him and do all the rest of it. Bullseye looks absolutely phenomenal. Very much his kind of tactical look with the brown trousers and the shoulder straps with all the knives and stuff in it. Absolutely stunning figure. I think that is a fantastic 2-pack. I'd go as far as saying that this is possibly one of the best 2-packs they've done in the last year, maybe. It's definitely the one that's kind of stood out to me, and I've kind of gone, yeah, I want to pick that one up. And to release it at the same time as the new Daredevil is fantastic, because if there are fans of Daredevil out there, even if it's just somebody that's watching the TV show, in 2 purchases you can pick up the Born Again season 1 villain, Bullseye, and Daredevil all in one go, which is really cool. There's tons of accessories in with that 2-pack. There's different head sculpts and all the rest of it. It's just a really nice 2-pack. And I think this is the first time that it is. I know it's the first time that they've ever done Muse. So it is really cool to sort of see these new characters getting a bit of recognition. And Marvel Legends are quite good at doing kind of deep cuts and putting new figures out there and new characters out there. Muse obviously has had a bit of a time in the spotlight with the Born Again TV show, so it's really cool to see a figure. And even if you're a fan of the TV show, this is pretty much they really got his costume done well on the TV show. So even if you're an MCU collector as such, you could pick up this 2-pack and quite easily use that Muse as an MCU version of Muse. So yeah, really happy. Really happy with that one. Hang on 2 secs. Let's have a look. We've got another comment there. Bullseye Toy Biz head sculpt is so overhated. Yeah, I agree. There's some really good heads. There's some really good sculpts in those Toy Biz days. They get a lot of hate, but I think there's a lot of good ones. The next 2-pack was Black Widow and Quicksilver. Not a fan of this one. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. 2 characters that we've kind of had loads of times. It's cool to have new costumes and variations of the costumes, but I think kind of Black Widow, we've had so many versions of Black Widow, and Quicksilver as well. We've had quite a few of him recently, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I think they're a little bit I think that's a really rubbish 2-pack, not going to lie. Couple of comments there. Honestly, the worst thing they revealed, they lack a lot of accessories. Yeah, I just think it was they've got the sculpts. I think they just kind of put it out there because they had the sculpts, and yeah, they were able to kind of just bundle up some more. And again, I suppose if you've not got a Black Widow in your collection, you haven't got a Quicksilver in your collection, these are okay, I guess. The next one was, obviously we've talked about Onslaught already, but the next one was another deluxe figure. Really nice one. It was, of course, X-Men 97 Archangel with a massive gun in packaged in there as well. And we haven't had Archangel for a long time, and this is obviously with his updated kind of looking wings. Archangel to me is just a very cool looking figure. It's a very cool looking character. It's a very cool looking figure, and I think for anyone, anyone that hasn't got one, this is cool. Comment there. I don't even remember him being in the show. I think he was in one of the cutaways, wasn't he? Or was it one of the characters that Morph changed into, or I can't remember now. I think you saw him for a second. He wasn't like in the show as a main staple, but he was definitely there. But this is a cool figure. This is a very cool figure. I think that the saddest thing about these figures that have the big wings and everything like that is that it's hard to display them. The nice thing about these wings is that they do kind of flip around, so you can display him kind of encased in his wings, or they do give you that retracted tuning fork, as Dwight called it, swap out, so you can kind of just have him there with his wings up. And it's nice that they're putting that in there, because I know with a lot of the older Archangel figures, there are a lot of customizers and stuff that kind of made these tuning fork retracted wings to sell and to kind of put out there. And I made a set, and that's how I displayed mine for a long time. But yeah, that's a nice figure. Cannot complain about that one. The last one that they kind of revealed, I'm going to be really honest now, I'm not buying into this Maximum line. That it's just not really doing it for me. But it was a Maximum series Thor, and it's a nice figure, and it's got a handful of different things that we haven't had before on Thor figures. So we've got like a soft good cape, we've got the Mjolnir hammer kind of slot that we can put it on his back. He does come with a whole bunch of accessories, but I'm not really buying into this whole Maximum line. It's just not really doing it for me. There's not enough to warrant the huge hike in price. I think if you're new to the line and you're picking up these characters for the first time, then the Maximum line is probably a good entry level kind of introduction to the line, because you do get a bunch of accessories and you do get alternate heads and all that kind of stuff. And obviously this one comes with Throg or Frog Thor, whichever way you want to call it. It comes with a little statue, which is your Frog Thor statue. A couple of comments there. I've been liking the Maximum series. I've got Deadpool and Spider-Man. They're great. Yeah, I mean, they are good figures. They're not bad figures at all. I'm not buying into it. It's a huge price hike. Sorry, from what it was back in the day. Let me just adjust my mic here because sorry. Yeah, and I was collecting Marvel Legends back from the beginning when they were quite cheap in comparison. So to pay kind of 50 quid, 55 quid for a single figure is a huge jump, especially compared to some of the other action figures that are out there. You look at the kind of the price of some of the other brands and what they're doing and stuff like that. And okay, these guys get a lot of accessories, but look at Jada Toys and their Street Fighter figures, and they come with just as many accessories. I mean, the big deluxe packets that you got for like Bison and Dalsim, they were only retailing at like 35, 40 at maximum. And they came in a big enclosed box. They came with accessories, and like the Dalsim, for example, you've got all the interchangeable limbs. You've got, I think it was 3 heads in there. You had like the fire effect diorama, you had a stand and all that kind of stuff for less money than what the Maximum series figures are. So yes, okay, it's Marvel, it's Street Fighter, they're very different, but it just goes to show that there are companies out there that are putting in a lot of stuff for a less price. Vigilante Films, definitely overpriced, but pretty good. Yeah, just not for me. Just not for me. And that was it. That was all of the Marvel Legends that were revealed in the live stream. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's just have a look at Frog Thor. This is pretty cool. I've had Frog Thor for a long time. Good friend of mine, RDJ Custom Creations, does a load of 3D printed and sculpted head sculpts and accessories and stuff, and has done for years. And he had little Frog Thor available for years. I got it maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it wasn't too dissimilar to this, to be fair. So yeah, but this is cool. This is cool. It's a cool little accessory to add into it. I definitely think for me, the highlights of the stream were the Spider-Man figure, the Daredevil figure, and the Daredevil 2-pack. They were the 3 that stood out the most to me, and Magic as well. Magic as well kind of gets an honorable mention, shall we say. So before we do finish up, one more thing. I've mentioned Jada Toys. One more thing that has kind of been shared around is the new movie Goat that's coming out. There is a film about basketball playing animals. Imagine kind of Zootropolis meets the NBA, and that's kind of what you get from Goat. And these are the Jada Toys Goat figures, and they look fun. They do look fun. I'm yet to see kind of just how articulated they are, but if the Jada Toys Street Fighter figures, Scooby-Doo figures, and all the rest of it are anything to go by, then these are going to be a lot of fun. And I'm imagining we're going to see a lot of cool action figure photography with these, which will be really nice, which will be really cool. I do love seeing the creative elements of the action figure photography. So yeah, so that's about it. Let's just have a look at my notes and see what else we had going on today. As I said at the beginning of the stream, if you missed it, Paramount and Mattel forming the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle license deal. This is really exciting. Playmates, I do love Playmates. I do a lot of stuff with Playmates, but having somebody else take over a franchise is always quite exciting, because it's going to bring new things. They're going to be trying new things. This deal goes to do with developing and marketing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys and collectibles, rolling out across retailers starting in 2027, part of a broader push to bring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle merchandising back to the shelves, and obviously will be surrounding upcoming media releases, movies, etc. We also got official images of the Masters of the Universe 5.5-inch figures, the kind of core toy line. So we've seen the kind of collectibles, the collectible versions. We saw a lot of the cast kind of revealing those, but we've now seen the core toy line, which is quite exciting. There's always room for a core toy line. Sometimes you get some really cool accessories and stuff. We did see a few variations of He-Man and Skeletor, kind of with different effects and stuff that we haven't necessarily seen already. The only other thing that I suppose to mention is streaming wise, for those in the UK, we've got Predator Badlands landing on Disney Plus tomorrow. And a couple of new comic books released. We had Cyclops #1 coming from Marvel, Star Wars Jar Jar #1, Venom number 254, Absolute Wonder Woman, and I think the exciting one for me was Alien versus Captain America #4, which basically puts Captain America against the Red Skull's Xenomorph army, which is quite out there if you think about it. Yeah, pretty good. Another comment there, Legend style Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle would be so cool. Yeah, I mean, Marvel Legends have definitely held court the longest. So they've been around since 2002. Yes, they've kind of adapted over time and they've kind of changed, but as a core, apart from the big shift from Toy Biz to Hasbro, as a core, as a core, they've kind of stayed as they are, and I think they've kind of set the tone for action figures. They've set the tone for kind of collectible action figures, the 6-inch line, the articulation, the accessories. And a lot of the other brands, we're looking at kind of what we can cross over. I think that's what was so excited about. That was so exciting about Jada Toys taking over the Street Fighter line, because it was a very similar action figure line to Marvel Legends, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I think if Mattel can do the same with the Masters of the Universe figures and also do the same with these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, that would be pretty cool. Let me just jot something down quickly what I think about it. Something for tomorrow. There we go. So basically the idea of this stream is to just jump on every day, 30 minutes, just talk about everything that's been kind of released or put up. Just trying to think if there's anything scheduled for tomorrow. I mean, we're in the run up to New York Toy Fair, so I'm kind of expecting updates all week, that there'll be things dropping ahead of New York Toy Fair. And then of course we've got New York Toy Fair at the weekend, and then following that, see what happens. But there we go. Thank you very much for jumping on and commenting along. Obviously, if you don't already, make sure that you follow, subscribe, all those kind of things. I will be back tomorrow, doing the same thing, talking about everything that has come out overnight. If you see anything, if you hear anything, drop me a message on Instagram, or jump on the live and chat along. Do appreciate it. Thanks again for anyone that joined in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.